Thanks for stopping by your mobile tech. So you've decided that you want to upgrade your computer system. You want to install an M.2 NVMe SSD drive. Well, so do I. So I picked up this Western Digital Black SN750 that's 500 gigabytes of really fast storage. According to the package, the read speed is 3,430 megabits per second. I don't know about you, but I'm going to use this for extra storage when I'm video editing. I can put my files there, get to them real fast. It helps with the editing process, and then I'll dump that drive when I'm done. It's just temporary storage. You may need it for a faster operating system, or you want to have faster access to your files, spreadsheets, documents, photos, videos, whatever it is. Either way, it's something you can install yourself, and I'm going to show you how right now. Okay, so I fired up my computer and I'm going to go down here to File Explorer. If you hover over this with your mouse, you will see the word File Explorer show up. But if you don't have it on your taskbar, you simply go into your search bar, type in the word File, it'll show up, you click on that. Once you click on that, you go to this PC. Then you will see a snapshot of all the hard drives that you have installed in your computer. I only have one, and I already know that I want to either increase this storage drive, or I want to add an additional drive for more storage. So the next step is to shut the computer down so I can install that storage. Okay, so then you want to get your supplies together. You're going to need your M.2 SSD drive, of course, a pair of needle nose. I'll explain why in a minute, don't panic. It has nothing to do with the case. And I do a lot of work on the house, so I have drills. I'm a fan of Dewalt. So what happens is when you press this button, left, right, counterclockwise, clockwise, tighten, unloosen, that type of thing. And then of course, I always use my iFixit kit when I'm doing repairs. So the next thing you want to do is get your case on its side. After you get your case on its side, you need to remove the side panel. Usually there's thumb screws along the back edge that would allow you to loosen up the side panel so you can remove it. In this case, I only have one, and it pops out my glass panel like this. Set that to the side. The next thing you need to do is find out where in your motherboard is your M.2 slot. Some motherboards come with one, some come with two. As you can see, and I'll use this as a pointer, I've already installed one M.2 in here, but there is a place for another one, and it just so happens to be underneath this metal heat shield right here. So we need to get these two screws out in order to remove this plate to gain access to the M.2 connector. Okay, so of course you're going to need your drive. You got to get it out of here. And like a quick unboxing, you get Western Digital technical support if it doesn't work, warranty, all that kind of thing. And there you go. That's all there is to it. It's just a circuit board with some chips on there. Now, I know you were wondering about these long nose needle pliers. Well, I have these because these bits are pretty difficult to come out sometimes. Now the reason I had to remove this is because this is a 1/4 inch socket for a 1/4 inch bit. The iFixit kit comes with its own set of bits, but the bits are significantly smaller. So these bits will not go in here. The magnet is grabbing it, but as you can tell, that's not in there properly. So what iFixit did was they came up with an adapter. And this is a 4mm to 1/4 inch. There you go, it's on there. Now, when you go to use one of your smaller bits, it goes in there. Okay, so once you get your bit installed, you can set this to the side. Again, you want to remove these 2 screws that's in here. So you want to line this up with the screw head. And then out it comes. That's 1 screw, and then of course you got the other screw on the back side. It helps that these are also magnetized, not the screws, but the bit holder is, so it helps. Then you want to get in here and remove this plate, like so. Set that to the side. You want to grab your M.2 drive and notice that it's keyed. There's a notch so that you can't put this in the wrong way. It'll only go in one way. Here is your M.2 connector. Now I have large hands, so it's not the easiest thing for me to do. Maybe I can line it up this way. And once you get it in there pretty good at an angle, you give it a little nudge and it goes right in there. As you can see, once the brass connectors or the contact points have disappeared into the black plastic, you're pretty much in there. What you have to do though, which I didn't do, I completely forgot about it, is there's another small screw. It's a retaining screw. And very gently take that out. Okay, that's out. You want to line it up carefully. Use your other hand to guide it. And then I usually just turn this thing without any power because you don't want to over torque anything in here. Usually the best way that I found is to go ahead and take this off and then just use this as a handheld screwdriver, which is what I'm going to do for the rest of the video. So once you've got the M.2 in place, now you need to put the heat spreader back on. I like to try and get it in there gently at first, and then you can maneuver it with your hands. You want to very carefully guide it into place and then kind of feel for the threads to make sure you've got it. I like to get this thing on here so I can feel it and then back off a little bit so I have a little play on this end to maneuver the other screw in place. This reminds me of that game, I don't know how old, well they still have the game today, but this reminds me of the game Operation. That's all there is to it. You've now installed your M.2 drive and replaced your heat spreader. The next step would be to put the side panel back on the case. So you grab your side panel, you line it up like so, drops into place, turn your thumb screw, get your tools out of the way, turn your computer right side up, and test it to make sure that it works. Okay, once your system is back up and running, you want to click on File Explorer. Then you want to go to this PC to verify that your drive installed properly. Well, here we see the original drive, but we don't see the second drive that I just installed. Well, don't panic. You go down to your search bar and you type in Windows Administrative Tools. That'll bring you to a list of options. You go to Computer Management and you go to Disk Management. Once you're here, you will see here's your other drive, but it's unallocated, which means that it hasn't been formatted, it hasn't been initialized, it's not ready to go. So you right click on it and you select New Simple Volume. After that, you bring up a wizard. You click next. Now here you can reduce the size of the drive. You can bring it down to, say, if you have a 1 terabyte drive and you want to do half, this is where you would change those values to split the drive in two. I'm going to leave mine full. Here, assign a drive letter. I want to assign the drive letter of Y for YouTube because that's what I'm going to use it for. Click next. Here, format this volume with the following settings. NTFS, default, I leave all of that alone. In here, I'm just going to simply type in YouTube. Perform a quick format. If you don't, it takes a long time to do it. So just click next. Here's a summary of everything that's going to happen to this drive. And if you agree with that, you click finish. Now, if you go to this PC, you will see that here's your YouTube or your extra drive or your secondary drive that you install, showing the 465 gigabytes free of 465 gigabytes. As we all know, with a 500 gigabyte drive, you lose just a little bit in the formatting process, but that's just the way it goes. So that's all there is to it. A couple of screws and you've got your M.2 SSD drive in and you're on your way. Not hard at all, easy peasy as they say. If you liked the video, let me know. If you didn't like the video, still let me know. I read all the comments below and I try and get back to everyone. Just to let you know, I had some lighting issues, so the video may not come out as clear as I liked it to be, but I think it's still helpful. So please subscribe. Like I said, it helps me out. Hit the notification bell for future videos. And thank you for stopping by your Mobile Tech, and you have a wonderful day.